So today we're going to be hanging drywall, thoughts behind what we're doing, why we chose the things we did. So let's get into it. Right now we're in my personal home in the laundry room in particular. We're going to be hanging drywall. So before the drywall goes up, we made sure that all the plumbing rough-in and all the electrical rough-in were done. Obviously it's all tested. If there's any leaks or anything like that, we want to find that out before any drywall goes up. So we're going to be hanging here a 5/8 sheet of Type X drywall. We're just under 8 feet, about 93¼ inches. So you might be asking, why put up one full sheet? You've got a door here, put up a smaller sheet, and it's a little bit more manageable because 5/8 is heavier. It's the extra material compared to your ultralight. It's much more cumbersome to carry, especially if you're just one person hanging drywall. And the reason why we don't want to have a seam above a door, if framing moves or the house settles or there's shifting of any kind, you don't want that seam to pop up through your plaster job. So having a continuous sheet over these doors and windows is really important for the longevity of this job. So I've actually also put up this ledger board here. I'm by myself. I'm going to throw it up here so I can at least rest it on there if I need to grab screws or grab my drill. And we can just tack it in with a couple of screws. Now, you might also be asking, why are you putting up 5/8? Can't you just use the ultralight 1/2 inch like you just mentioned? Yeah, I could have, but the existing home already had 5/8. All the window jambs were set to that depth of 5/8. So for me to go through everything and change it, well, it just wasn't worth it, and I don't need to change these windows because they're actually pretty good. So we've gone with the 5/8 on all exterior walls and the interior partition walls, as well as the rock salt comfort mat. It's going to help with the sound kind of transferring through those interior walls. So let's get on with it and hang this 5/8 sheet of drywall. Cutout tool, there's a few ways to do this. You can definitely use your drywall saw, but if you've got a few of these doors to do, that can get a little tiresome. You don't want to get too fatigued if you have a whole house to do, or a small basement or something like that. So cutout tool is going to be great. We're just going to follow the 2x4 framing around this door. Again, the tracking point on this bit will help you do that without cutting into the wood and getting caught. So you get it running, and then we're going to cut. You can see here we're flush, on the side we're not flush. This I'm not too concerned about. Obviously you're going to have to cut this back if you had the traditional door casing and door jamb setup. In my house in particular, we're going to be cutting a lot of these back, or if not all of them actually, because we're going to make room for the trim text reveal. What that is a vinyl bead that's going to go around all of the doors and across the base, above the baseboard. And what that will do is it will give me a shadow detail. We're not going to have casing that sits on top of our drywall. Our actual door jamb and casing are going to be one piece. The casing is going to be flush with the surface of the drywall. It was kind of an afterthought, but we're going to be custom making the door jambs and casings, so it's really going to be something that we'll be able to incorporate without too much trouble, hopefully. But we'll see on upcoming videos if that is actually the case. So we are going to mark out locations of the electrical box so we know where the cutout tool is going to go, kind of a starting point and the kind of general area of where that box is. Really, we're going to measure to the center of the box from left to right, and then bottom of this sheet down to the center of the box. That gives me the center point of the box, and we can kind of work around. And then I also have two feeds here, the hot and the cold, for a wall mount sink. Those kind of, I can see right here They're about 1 inch to half an inch below this sheet of drywall here. The pipe down here for ABS, that's going to be for the slop sink. The way this house is built, this is kind of cantilevered to the outside. So the plumbing isn't, we can't put it on the outside, obviously exposed to the elements. So we've run it on the top of the subfloor, and the slop sink is actually going to be in another video that you're going to get to see in the future. We're going to be making a slop sink out of concrete. Makes sense, right? So I've marked these two. I'm going to take a measurement left to right on this electrical box. So we have 47 inches, and I just write it down here, 47. And then from the top down to the middle, we have 5 inches. Excuse my leftiness. It's what I do. So we're going to transfer those measurements. Again, we're going to go left to right. So 47. Let's try and approximate where 5 inches is, since we know. 47. And then 5 inches down. And there we go. That's the center of the box. So we just kind of put a little rectangle, and we know the center of the box is right there. That's where we're going to start with the cutout tool. Okay, so these two screws are allowing me to just hang the drywall, kind of tack it in place, because we know the box is right here. So we really can't put a screw here because one, it might not reach, or two, we might actually damage the drywall and puncture this through. Again, with our cutout tool, we're going to start in the middle, work our way to the side, hit the box, jump over the box, and then around. Now, it'll make more sense when I actually do it, so let's get into this. Okay, so now we've got the box cut out. We'll just secure the rest of this drywall. Now, obviously we do have the two water supplies right here. And what I'll do is, for the sake of ease, let's just use the drywall saw. Okay, so we've completed this wall. We still have to complete screwing in the entire sheet, 2 sheets. One thing we didn't mention during the video are the type of screws that we're using. Coarse thread, 1 5/8 because I'm using 5/8 drywall and we're going into wood studs. If you have different thickness of material, that's going to dictate what type of screw and what type of stud you're going to, metal or wood. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Help you out as best I can. Cutout tool, went through that, how to locate and how to work around an electrical box, how to mark out, obviously in this case, hot and cold water, and kind of why we use the 5/8. So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Give me a hard time, screw. I do talk too much. Tools and materials sometimes. As I work alone, so makes the day go by.